34 majira ukanda Afrika Mashariki, na kumbuka kwamba ahadi ni deni na deni ni kulipa. Ndipo sasa tuko hapa ndani kidogo na wageni wetu. Nilikuwa nimekuarifu kwamba tutakuwa tunaangazia taaluma ya uandishi, na kwa sababu si wote ambao tumefaulu kuandika vitabu, basi tunawaita wageni ambao wameandika vitabu. Na kama unavyotazama tuna vitabu hapa, tutakuwa tunaviangazia tu moja kwa moja, lakini kabla hiyo tutakuwa tunakupatia maarifa ambao unafaa kujua. Najua labda una wazo, umekufikiria kwamba wewe unataka kuwa mwandishi, lakini kufikiria haijatosha. Kuna wale ambao wamechukua hatua na kuandika vitabu. Kwa hivyo ndipo sasa tuna wageni wetu siku ya leo. Kwa wale ambao wanatutazama katika ukurasa wa Facebook, leo tunakupatia nafasi tuulize swali lolote, tutakuwa tunakujibu, na pia tutakuwa tunajua iwapo wameandika vitabu. Kwa upande wangu naona anaandika vitabu vya watoto na vitabu vya wanawake. Upande mwingine naona vitabu vya rebuilding after rejection, leadership na mengi tena sana. Mbona wakachagua kuandika vitabu kama hivyo? Kwa hivyo usiende mbali, hapa ndipo nyumbani, na karibu tena sana. Yote 9:10 ni kwamba lazima utasaidika. Kwa hivyo karibu tusalimie na utambie unaitwa nani, alafu tukue tunaendelea, na feel free unaweza ongea Kizungu na Kiswahili.
Asante. So nimeandika kitabu yangu kwa Kiingereza, so tutaongea Kiingereza mob.
Okay.
I'm Henry Waweru, and I'm a pastor and I'm a counselor, and I'm a writer. I've authored 3 books that are already published, and more that are on the process.
On the process.
Yeah, so most welcome that we may learn how to write books and what is in the book and the purpose of writing these books.
Karibu sana.
Yeah.
Unaposema in the process, iko kwa akili ama?
Okay, so writing a book begins with an idea. So the idea, you process the idea, then you begin to put the idea into words. So I've already put the idea into words.
Okay.
So needed to take it to the publisher for the publishing.
Alright.
Yes.
Karibu tena sana. Tunai Pastor Henry Waweru atakuwa anatusaidia pia. Kwa upande mwingine pia karibu, wanasema ladies first, lakini tumevunja hiyo. Squeeze Boy Child wamelia sana, hata tuwapatie chance ya kwanza. Karibu sana.
Asante. Kwa majina naitwa Mary Favor Nyaga. I am married to James Nyaga. He's a bishop and a high school teacher. I'm also a high school teacher and a mother. And I've written more about women. And later on, when I wrote about women, God gave me the burden about children.
So children and women.
Yes.
Unafunza shule gani?
Nafunza shule ya upili ya Kirima Secondary School.
Kirima Secondary School.
Upili sub-county.
Okay. Kwa hivyo wewe ni mwalimu, wewe ni mtumishi. Mtumishi, hujatuambia kanisa lako?
Okay. I'm a pastor with New Morning Christian Fellowship. We also have a leadership training school, like we call it Kingdom Leadership Bible College. That's why I've done a book on leadership, because for the last more than 10 years, I've been training pastors and leaders.
Okay.
Yes.
Karibu sana. Kwa hivyo angalau mtazamaji, tushawajua wageni wetu, na ndipo mkoko na lika mwa hapa ndani. Karibu tena sana. Ni vizuri walisema kwamba aliye karibu ndiye huangukiwa na mti. Hapo ndipo unajua kwamba aliye na masikio pia asikie. Karibu. Hata mimi nasoma leo. Moja kwa moja, hebu tuambie ni kwamba unafikiriaje kuandika kitabu na sio kuimba? Kwa maana unaweza imba pia. Natumai pia unaweza imba about leadership, unaweza imba about women. Tuanze kwanza nawe Pastor Waweru. Mbona ukaamua kuandika na sio kuimba ama kukariri? Kwa sababu pia unaweza sema a poem about leadership.
Okay. Let me say writing is a talent. When you talk about a talent is something inborn. You are born with it. Just like a singer was born a singer. You can't teach anyone to sing.
Yeah.
It is something that you are born with, and then you develop it. So talents are discovered, and then talents are then developed. Writing is a talent.
Yeah.
According to me, I was born a writer. Just imagine I started writing in high school. When I was in Nanyuki High School, we used to have what we call the writer's club.
Yeah.
So I could write like a speech, a note, and I could pin it on the dining hall. So as the students goes to take tea in the morning, they could see something on the notice board and they could go and read. That's why I began. So you see, it's something that was inborn.
Yeah.
That's why I cannot sing, because I don't have the talent of singing, but I can write. And how do you know you are a writer? By the flow. I can be able to take a pen, even without anything, just one word. I start writing that word, I get a second word, then a whole book is complete. Like it just flows from within me. So it's a talent to me.
It is a talent.
Yeah.
So ulikuwa prefect ama?
Okay, in high school I was a sous chairman. And then I've been a Christian sous chairman. You are the big person in that school.
I know.
You get the point. And so then I joined the writers club. I started writing. Yeah, and that's when I discovered I have a writing gift. And then before I got money to publish books, I wrote and wrote. I don't even know where those books are. Yeah, I just wrote and wrote. You know, those days you never had a phone where you could save. I was just writing and writing. Yeah, and then they reached a point I said this must be a book. Yes.
Alright. Tupatie pia safari yako. Ulijuaje unaweza kwanza being a mother, being a pastor's wife, unakuwa pia upande mwingine mwalimu, wewe ni daughter ya mtu. Ulifikiriaje kuandika na wanasema kwamba wanawake kazi yetu ni nyumbani?
It has not been easy like you have said. I am a teacher and I am a mother. And a wife of somebody. I'm a reverend, and I pastor together with my husband. So it has not been easy, but I have been preaching to women for a long time. And I thought it is just preaching and just preparing the message. But during the COVID-19, that is when the reality of whatever we have here came and it manifested itself. And as I was sitting, you know, we were not even going to school. And this idea came into my mind. And I discovered whatever I've been preparing all along, I could now consolidate it into what we are having today. Yeah, so this is when the idea was born. But I have also, like my friend has said, I have been writing, preparing sermons, and the books are there, but I never thought that I would bring this into what we have today. Yes.
Hiyo ni nzuri. Pastor Waweru umesema kitu ya kwamba unapotaka kujua wewe ni mwandishi, ukishika kalamu hivi unaandika na unaandika kabisa. Hata mimi mwandishi wa habari ninaweza kuangalia hivi na niandike habari. Nitatofautishaje kuandika vitabu, mwandishi wa habari, mwandishi wa poem, mwandishi wa nini? Tofauti kwa wapi hapo katikati?
The content. Tofauti ni content. What I mean is, so mwandishi wa habari, you cannot talk about, you cannot let this for a hour. People are going to get bored. But you see, book, you must have large content.
Yeah.
You see, because you see this book seems small, but this kuandika na kalamu ni for choir. Yeah, ni kitabu kubwa, like four for choirs. You get my point? And then the publisher compresses it. So how do you know you can write? By content. Like umeandika kitabu imejaa, umeandika ingine imejaa. That tells you are not wewe si mtu wa poem, wewe si mtu wa shairi, wewe si mwana habari, wewe you are a giant. Okay, you're a giant in that writing field. And something very interesting, these ideas come and come. All of us have what we call writing blocks. You know what's a writing block? A writing block is whereby unafika pahali material inaisha. Unaona blackout.
Unamaliza kitabu.
Hapo katikati. So what you do is when you hit the writing block, you just close the book and you go and sleep. Then as you sleep, in the morning you shall wake up with another idea. Or even after 1 week, even after 1 month, and then it flows again. Yes.
So haiwezi jichanganya.
So the content continues increasing until reach a point. By the way, si ati unafikanga pahali unasema ati have no more material. Si hapo unafikanga. Ni unasema let me first nifike hapo. Let's call this a book. Then I'll have another book. You see, the materials flow and flow. So if you have more content, it means that's a book. What's mwana habari? Yes.
Yaani unataka kusema sisi tuko shallow.
That's a point. Okay, your news are very important. Lakini si mingi. Because you know your news. Okay. Your news will depend on what is happening outside in Kenya, outside this TV room. You see, mine it will depend on what's happening inside
the world and even in
my world is in me, your world is outside there. Sasa kule watu wapigane upate news. Kwa mimi iko ndani yangu.
Okay, nimeona tofauti. Atuanze kwako kidogo. Hebu tuambie kuna mtu pale ambaye angependa kuanza kuandika kitabu. How do we start? Alafu kisha baadaye pastor atakuwa na kuongezea kidogo. Unaanza wapi kuandika kitabu?
Vile nimesema, I didn't know that this talent is in me. And I have said I have preached for a long time. I've been preparing the sermons, but I discovered there's something I can tell the world through this channel. And I've been reading books, I've read books, I've read his book and others. And I discovered that I can also write and give what I have to the people. Like my friend has said, what we have put in the book is inside us.
Okay.
Yes, so you realize that you will now put that in the book and it will get to the people. And then whatever you have been reading in the Bible and even in other Christian literature and other books, you realize that you can consolidate them into what we are.
Okay. Pastor, amesema kwamba huwa mnaandika kile kilicho ndani yenu.
Yes.
Haya, acha tuanze na hapa. Rebuilding after rejection. Ulikuwa umerejectiwa.
So you hear the story? Unless you have a hard cash. Unless you have a hard cash.
Umesema
Yes.
huwa mnaandika kile kiko ndani yenu.
Exactly.
Kuna baadhi ya waimbaji pia, kwa sababu natumai pia hiyo ni taaluma ambayo tutakuwa tunaiangazia some days to come, ya kwamba kuna yule ambaye anaandika wimbo kwa sababu amesikia Mungu amemwambia ongelea upendo, ongelea hiki. Na kuna mwimbaji ataandika wimbo about upendo kwa sababu ameachwa, ama kwa sababu anatafuta mchumba, ama anataka kitu ambacho ni upendo. Does it mean pia nyinyi waandishi wa vitabu mnaandika kila ambacho mnataka? Tuangalie pia hiki the PL about women self worth. Inamaanisha kwamba haukuwa na self worth? Inamaanisha kwamba ulikuwa rejected, ama inamaanisha kwamba wewe the leadership ulikuwa na shida ya uongozi?
Exactly. Exactly. Now what happens is there are two reasons why you write a book. One is professional, the other one is personal. For example, if she is a literature teacher, I don't know anafunza nini, atatuambia, if she is a literature teacher, she will write a book not because of a personal experience, but because of educational issues, because of professional issues. That's how. So you can read it for professional purposes, or you can read it for personal purposes. Now this is very personal because tumesema iko ndani yako. So what happens is I cannot write about rejection unless I've gone through it. Okay, you cannot write about self-worth unless you have suffered low self-esteem and issues of self-worth. Now, so let me talk about rebuilding after rejection. So what happened was I analyzed my life. I came to realize every person who is coming to me for counseling, that person has suffered rejection in one way or the other. Maybe rejection in marriage, maybe peer rejection, maybe in the family, maybe parental rejection, maybe rejection in the working place. Mostly it was rejection associated with relationships. Now, when I looked back at my life, I suffered the rejection since I was born. Like when I was a child. Yeah. When I never knew that was rejection. But now, nikiangalia back at my life, I could see I had an issue with my mother. My mother used to, just imagine, nilifukuzwa mara 5 mwaka moja nyumbani. Kufukuzwa for no reason.
Ulikuwa bazuu wewe.
Then just understand that I used to come number 1 every day. Me, I never came number 2 in primary school.
Na mbona ulifukuzwa?
That's the point. It is a spirit. And I came to realize my rejection was generational. My mother was also rejected. And so what happened was the rejection was transferred to the children. So me, unajua hata kupigwa kile tulikuwa tunapigwa, unaona hiyo siku sio kwa sababu nafanya upigwe. Kuna mtu mwingine anapigwa akiwa ndani yako. You know, a mother or a father can a mother and a mother anaweza kukupiga, a mother or father anaweza kukupiga. Lakini sio anapiga the in-laws. Kwa sababu amekasirika na transfer the pain to you.
Ama umeitwa nani hivyo?
Exactly. Unaona yule ambaye ameitwa pande yao hapigwi. Wewe umeitwa pande ya opposition. Pande ya in-laws ama out-laws ndio wanapigwa. You get my point? So I came to realize, see, in my childhood I suffered a lot of rejection. And imagine I was very bright and I was a very responsible young man. But I suffered rejection. When I got saved, my mother never wanted to hear of salvation. Today my mother is saved. She's a very good mother. But those times hakuta kusikia kama wokovu kwa nyumba yake. So I suffered rejection. Niwaambie uchague masomo ama Yesu. You get my point? And I was very bright. So I suffered rejection when I was in high school. Then ile by nilifanya kitabu ambayo niligusa sana, it is when I came into like war. Just imagine I suffered 3 broken engagements for no reason. And you see me, I'm handsome. And you see I'm handsome. I was not a chido. I didn't cast it. I didn't cast it.
Kwanza alikuacha juu ya nini? Alikuacha juu ya nini wa kwanza?
Umaskini. Kwa sababu ya kukosa pesa, poverty can cause rejection. There's this guy anasema ati poverty ni baya kushinda mbwa. Kwa sababu ukiambia boys kuume itakuuma tena. Unajua hiyo kaimbo. It was sung before you are born. Poverty is bad. And she came from a very well family. Okay. And then nikaona hatuwezi wezana kwa sababu ya social class, social status.
Yeah.
You get my point? Na yeye alikuwa anaona hivyo tu. Sawa sawa. Then akaenda akaolewa na mtu wa bank. Mimi nikawacha kwa jua.
Ukapata mwingine.
Nikapata mwingine, just wajua watu wao wakamwambia aende London. Kwa sababu wao wana pesa, mimi sina. Unajua 2 weeks before tulikuwa bahari, na sijui tulikuwa nalipa bahari na nini. Then nikasikia ati ameenda. Ati sio ni kubwa. Na haniambi kumbe kugundua ya kwamba the letters were aware of, so they had planned all that without my knowledge. You get my point? Yes.
Watatu wa mwisho.
Watatu mpaka siku ya leo hajawahi kuleta majibu. Nimuuliza sakada hii bali hiyo. Akasema ataenda kufikiria. She still waiting to this day. So I'm still waiting.
Tuendelee sasa, ndio kaandika kitabu.
So just imagine all that story. Sijaongea kuhusu rejection in ministry and all that. Because there's a problem. So I started praying for myself. And then when I felt I have overcome rejection, I started writing. You get my point? So this is a personal experience. People who read this book, they really get it. Because si kitu inatoka kwa akili, kitu inatoka kwa roho. Yes.
Umepia mapasta urejectiwa.
That's why by the way we are pastor. That's why we heal people, because we are one's heart. So we are called wounded healers. You are wounded, so you become a healer.
Okay.
Yes.
Nimepata. Ulichagua kwa nini kuandika kuhusu wanawake, ama kwa sababu wewe ni mwanamke?
Nilisema I have the women ministry, and most of the time I find myself dealing with the women. Even in most of my sermon, you find that I preach, I read up touching on women. So that is my area of calling. And I have a ministry called Tabitha Fellowship, and I have been having meetings with the women, and we have been discussing, and we have been talking a lot with them. So you realize that most of the women are not what they are because of low self-esteem or lack of self-worth, and they have failed to manifest that which God put in them, because kila mtu kuna kitu Mungu aliweka ndani yake. Even before you are born. Yes, so you have something, but this something has not manifested because this person does not believe in herself, has a negative attitude towards herself. So as in course of my interaction with the women, I realize that there are women that are living far below their because of low self-esteem, and some of them the way they look at themselves, wanajiangalia na hiyo negative attitude. Wengi wamejihurumia, na wengine ni kwa sababu ya vile they have been brought up, mambo kama hiyo. And you know our society counts as a second. Watu wana but Biblia, lakini God loves us equally. Yes, wengi wao wanajiangalia kama they are second. They also believe what the society say about them, and therefore I said I've been working with the women, na sasa Mungu akaweka hili jambo. You can tell the women they are more than they think. Yes, so
tukiangalia kitabu cha Pastor Henry, alimezungumzia kuhusu rejection, na wewe pia hapa naona umezungumzia kuhusu self worth. Yeye ametupatia his personal experience, ama kile ambacho yeye amekuwa akikimsukumia. Apart from women, na kutoka hao wanawake ambao umekuwa ukitangamana nao, ambao unataka wasome hiki kitabu, katika maisha yako mahali umeifika mahali ukajihisi ya kwamba you are not worthy, yani haufai kabisa, ili maybe kikakusukumia kuandika kitabu?
Unajua there are so many things that make women look at themselves negatively. And one of them is the way you have been brought up, and the environment. And I found myself in an environment that was not very favorable. Na nililelewa katika hiyo familia haikuwa na kitu. Na sasa nikaona siku moja mimi sitakuwa kama mama yangu. Mimi nitakuwa na kitu. Na kwa hivyo nikaanza kujiamini, yani kutoka wakati nilikuwa msichana mdogo. Nilikuwa naangalia kwetu hakukuwa na kitu, na tulisugukwa na hiyo maisha ya kukosa, lakini niliamua ndani yangu ya kwamba mimi nitajiamini na nitakuwa mtu. Na hiyo ndio imekuwa ndani yangu. I believed in myself. Hata wakati nilikuwa ninasoma mimi sikuwa kama Henry. I was an average student, but I believed in myself, and I was able to get my good marks that made me go to secondary school. And later on I graduated to mimi ni wa ile system ingine ya masomo. Tulikuwa tunaenda up to form 6. Ni 7, 4, 3. Okay. Yes.
Umekula chumvi.
Yes.
Sasa nitakuja tuendelee tuangalie. Unajua siku hizi ukisimama mahali unataka kuangazia mambo na wanawake, wanakuita feminist. Kwa hivyo tutakuwa tunakuja kuangalia hilo. Lakini kwa upande mwingine tukizidi kuwasaidia wale ambao wanatutazama, unaweza kidogo tusaidia iwapo kuna mtu pale anataka kuanza kuandika kitabu, step 1 ni gani, step 2 ni gani, step 3 ni gani, hadi ya mwisho, hadi kitabu kikuje kikwendo hiki kitabu chikeni msome.
Okay. Now, writing a book begins with an idea. Do you have an idea?
No.
My challenge to every person who wants to become a writer is, if you feel you are a writer, and if you know you are a writer, begin by writing. Begin those small steps. Begin with an idea. Put that idea on a paper. Take a paper and write. In fact, don't even worry about the title. The title inajitetanga. As you write and write and write and write, title inajiteta. We shall talk more about the title, because also the title of your book is also very important. Because, for example, if I'm going to a library and I want to find a book, what I'm going to look for the title. Exactly. If I want to look for a book on leadership, this book will get the attention of the seeker. Leadership. So the title is also very important. But don't worry about the title. Do you have an idea? Start by putting the idea on paper and ink. Start by writing. And as you write, more ideas are going to follow. Don't even think about chapters. Just write. You just write and write and write. Ukifika pale ukisikia sasa umefika hakuna anything else, weka full stop. Go and sleep. In the morning, go on writing. Sometimes unakuwa na psych ya kuandika, sasa zingine hata hii psych haikuangi hapo. So continue writing. Continue writing and writing. That's the first step. Because you can't talk about a book and you have nothing written down. Now, after writing the book, and you think this is enough material to produce it, look for a mentor. In writing, you have mentors. Someone who have written a book. For example, me, I can mentor someone who wants to write a book. Now, I was also mentored. So I took this book, I took it to someone who have ever written a book. Then huyo mtu akaienda through yote. And we need someone who is not selfish. And because going through another person's book.
Nazaiba idea.
Hii books are stolen. Now we shall come to that. Challenges of writing a book. What shall we kuambie? People have taken our books and they have used their own names and sold them. That's another big challenge in writing. You tangalia. So someone who is selfless, go through your book. Kuna hii mambo ya correcting the spelling mistakes. Anakwambia improve here and here, add here, subtract here. You take the draft to someone who is a mentor. Let him go through the book, let him correct you and all that. After that, go and write it again. Go and write it a second time. Go through it a second time. You're going to get more information on what to write. You're going to subtract some few things. After going through the draft again, take it back to the mentor. Sasa, let him approve it. Now from there, get a publisher. Someone is now the publishing part is now another challenge because a publisher can take your book and sell it in his name. A publisher anaweza utengeneza kitabu yako then awasha na copies awe akiziuza in your name na anapata pesa. Wewe unawashwa pale umefilisika. Just like piracy in singing, in music. Now after he publishes the book, we have even numbers that your book is supposed to be registered. Okay? Then from there, you should call for a launch that book.
Yeah.
You should advertise your book. For example, my books are on Amazon. But before I put them on Amazon, what I did is I called my friends, the church members, let people know you have written a book. Then sell the book. Now, for the selling, that's another challenge altogether. Just imagine, before we talk about this challenge, just imagine some 2 young men came to my office. When they came to my office, they saw this book. Someone corrected them to me. So they let the book ikawa sana. They said their work is to sell. I gave them 30 of my copies. 2 days after they called me, said, Pastor, we have sold all your book. And people want this book. So we shall come for more books as we bring the money. To this day, they are still coming.
See what will come and trust.
So they say they sell books. You know, the people wanasogea kuuza vitabu ambazo si zao. So they said we have been doing this throughout our lifetime. So give us your book. We agreed on the commission. I took their numbers. Just imagine their numbers went off. So these are some challenges you face. So you must know how to advertise your book. Call you.
Hope we're talking Mount Kenya.
Just imagine, and Mount Kenya. So just imagine 30 books. Each book costed 500 shillings. So these people went away with your 15,000 shillings. So they ate your sweat. You know the song said, "The kind did no end. Stakula sweat ya wenyewe." So they ate someone's sweat. So these things happen.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey. Kitu kingine unaweza ongezea katika utaratibu wa kuandika vitabu, alafu tuingie sasa katika challenges tukiangalia mambo mengine.
Sometimes my friend has said it starts with an idea. And maybe sometimes you are not exposed. Like me, I had written, I said I wrote this during the COVID-19. I wrote, but I didn't know what to do with whatever I had written. And therefore, sometimes if you are not exposed, you can have a lot, but you don't know how to put it together. So that is a challenge. Then you also don't maybe have a mentor, somebody who will hold your hand and tell you this is how to go about it. So that can be another challenge. And then maybe the other one, you don't also have the resources, because for you to put up these beautiful books, you need money. And if you don't have the money, you may also stay with your idea. It is not put into what we have. And you don't achieve what you want. Yeah, so resources are very important.
Yes. Tukiangalia ulisema kwamba ulianza kuandika ukiwa shule ya upili hata kama hazikuwa published. Kuna wengi ambao huwa tunaandika, tunafika katikati, tunachoka, tunatupa hiyo, tunaanza tena, naenda mahali nasikia drug abuse iko juu, naanza kuandika drug abuse. Nafika nasikia kidnapping imeongezeka sana, nataka kuandika about kidnapping. Katika uimbaji, kuna wale waimbaji ambao wanakaa katika nyimbo za kutoa mashauri, kuna wengine wanakaa katika nyimbo za upendo peke yake, kuna wale ambao tunaita gospel artist peke yake. Katika uandishi, hata katika taaluma kidogo ya kuhubiri, tuna apostles, tuna pastors, tuna bishops, tuna nini. Katika taaluma ya kuandika vitabu, kuna kitengo maalum ambacho mtu anafaa kukaa nacho.
Okay. That's a good question. Let me begin by saying that writing is very different from singing. You know, for singing, unaweza toka huko nje, you get all that has been happening. Let's say talk about alcoholism, and then you write a song on alcoholism, and yet you have never even drunk. Now, writing is very different. For a book to have impact, that book must be inborn. It must come from your spirit. It must come from your thoughts, from your soul. You must birth it. Now, for you to become a writer, you must become a leader. I think kuna leader ya R na leader ya R. So pronounce it for me. So for you to become a writer, you must become a reader. Reader ni yule wa kusoma. How do you know you are a writer? By reading wa kuread. Kuread ya R. Si ya kuongoza. So what happens is, if you know you are a writer, you know you are a writer by how you love books. So just imagine me, I could read a 500 pages book per day. Reading was like I could read in the morning, read in the afternoon, when I have spare time. Thank God in our days we never had these phones. You know, phones are a distractor. so we are nothing to distract us. So I could read in the morning, the first thing I could read before I sleep. So I read so many books. So if you want to write a book, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, let's say I want to write a book on leadership. Read all the leadership books available. And then ask yourself, what have these writers or these authors not written on about? Because there's no need of doing like photocopy. For example, John Maxwell have written so many books on leadership. So you need to read his books and understand what has he written. Then ask yourself, can I write better or can I write differently? Because there's no need of writing something that has already been written. So do you know you are a writer by being a reader? Do you read other people's books? Because it's when I'm reading your book, it's like I'm sewing. Someone else one day will read my book. As I read the book, I'm not reading it for content. I'm reading to get an idea. How did he get this title? How did he develop the chapters and the content? How was the introduction and how was the conclusion? Did he give stories? Did he give illustrations? Did he give quotes? Did he give proverbs? You get my point? Did he quote other people? So when I'm reading a book, I'm looking it in a diverse way, not just for content, but for the style.
Sure.
How was the style of writing? So for you to become a writer, you must also become a reader. Yes.
Anasema you must become a reader. Yani lazima usome. Utasoma sangapi? Uko jikoni, uko shule, uko
you have to plan yourself. So you find every time you have some time, you have to commit that time to read. So you must have a program for yourself. So even if I'm busy, I must plan yourself. I must plan myself. So to kufanya vitu bila mpango, ni lazima niwe na mpango, na hivyo ndivyo nimekuwa nikifanya. Ya kwamba hata kama nikutenga wakati, hata baada ya kutayarisha familia yangu, jioni niko na wakati wa kusoma, na nimeamua ya kwamba mimi ni mama, anajielewa, anajijua, mama wa self worth, ni lazima nitenge wakati ili niweze kusoma na kuwa na maarifa, na ili niweze kutekeleza kile nataka kutekeleza.
Kabisa. Natumai mtazamaji pia unazidi kujifunza na pia unazidi kujua ni yapi ambayo yanazidi kujiri hapa ndani ya Ziwa TV. Uandishi amesema kwamba ni wito, kama unavyoandika wimbo lakini hautaimba kwa sababu hauna sauti, kuliko kumtoa nyoka pangoni unamrudisha, si vizuri. Kwa hivyo stick to your lane, hivyo ndivyo watu wanasema. Kama ni kuandika tuandike, kama ni kusoma tusome, na kama pia ni kufanya vitu vingine, kama ni mashairi tutunge na tukariri. Lakini yote 9-10 ni kwamba katika kila taaluma ambayo tunayo, iwe ni uandishi wa habari, iwe ni udaktari, ya ualimu, kila mmoja ana changamoto ambazo huwa anapitia, na hapo ndipo nataka tusikie. Ikizingatiwa kwamba siku hizi tumeingia digitali, kuzungusha kitabu hard copy, kwambia mtu shika hiki kitabu usome, unamconvince kabisa ili akuja akanunua hicho kitabu. Ni changamoto zipi zingine? Na labda mtatuambia pia siku ambayo mlikuwa na hilo wazo la kuandika kitabu kikatoka, wamombo wanasema reception, mlipokelewa vipi? Na wale mnaita close friends, ama hapo ndipo mlijua mko na fake friends? Tuanze kwako. Ulipoandika kitabu na kikatoka, na ukajua kwamba kutoka leo wakati waandishi wanapokuwa wakihesabiwa, mimi nitakuwa nahesabiwa, nimeandika Rebuilding After Rejection, The Leadership Well na vitabu vingine, mimi nitakuwa sasa mwandishi. Hao watu ambao wamekuzunguka, kanisa, marafiki, familia na watu wengi sana, walikupokelea vipi? Alafu baadaye tutakuwa tunaingilia upande mwingine, kisha tuingilie changamoto ambazo najua ni nyingi na ni tele.
Exactly. Now what happens is one great challenge you have in Kenya. Is it Kenya or is it Africa? We don't have a culture of writing. And don't have a culture of reading. Okay? So we have few writers, few authors, because people don't like reading. People are going to listen to songs, people are going to listen to any form of entertainment, they're going to listen to jokes and all that. By the time get across social media, these are trends are like entertainment. That's what trends. If someone cites a book, they can't even go through what you are writing. The point is because our culture is not a leading culture. Wanatuambianga ukitaka kuficha pesa kwa Mwafrika weke kwa kitabu. Ukaacha weke kwa Biblia au weke kwa kitabu. Hata ziona. You get my point? So writing a book, if you are writing for fame, don't write. If you are writing for money, don't write. Write a book because you have the passion of writing. If your motive is money, please don't write. You are going to be so distressed by the story, and you are going to be so discouraged because there will be no fruit. Because you see, someone have to buy your book, and people buy things they value. And our culture, we don't value reading. Okay? Wanasema kama wewe pasa wewe soma Biblia, soma kitabu kuja tuhubirie. Kuja tuambie. Ni kama the children of Israel. You Moses, go on the mountain where he said to what God is saying. Now come and tell us. You get my point? And so because of our low reading culture, so you can get so much discouraged. Okay? So you tell people, if you tell people come you want to launch my song, they will come. And they will dance, they come dancing too. But tell them, come let us launch our book. They will come, they will look at the book, say the color is beautiful, but they won't buy. You get my point? They won't even buy the book. So what I did was, after I finished writing the book, this small book, you see, this book costed me more than 300,000 shillings to write. Yeah. Aka, more than Aka. Was that not Aka? So this is a book of tears, sweat, and blood. You have put all your money there. You get my point? So unaita watu wakuje mlaunch. Walaunch hiyo kitabu. Na wabai kitabu. Na by the way mtu akibai kitabu abai 500 shillings, hiyo pesa itarudi haraka. But they don't want to buy. Walikopa lakini hawakulipa. Nitaita pesa. Wananiona bali hakulipa kwa sababu hata hakusoma alipoenda nyumbani. Okay? You get my point? So I called my friends and very few turned up. I called our church members, few turned up. I sold it on Facebook, few bought it. You get my point? But just imagine, hii maisha, you don't give up. You write another one. Yes.
Kwako, kwanza wanawake sasa. Unajua wanasema wanawake ni adui wa mwanamke mwenzake. Kuliendaje?
I tell you. So, you know, when you are writing, you have a lot of expectations. And
lakini ngoja, pastor amesema kwamba usiandike kitabu ukitaka pesa.
Yes.
Mimi sijampata hapo. Mbona nisiandike?
Tusikie alipata gapi?
Hebu tuambie.
Yes, because sometimes you'll be disappointed because watu wetu hawapendi sana kusoma. Vile amesema hata kama ni Biblia, watu wengi unajua siku hizi hata wanasema wako na Biblia kwa simu. So hata ukiwaambia nenda usome hii, hawatasoma. Pengine mtu atasoma hiyo Biblia kwa simu, lakini hatafanya hivyo. Kwa hivyo hata kwa vitabu ni vile vile. Tunapata watu hawapendi kusoma. Kwa hivyo hata ukiwaambia nimeandika kitabu, mtu atakwambia ataitikia tu. Na tena unamwambia hata unamuonyesha. Mwingine hata anajifanya hakusikia vile umesema. Hiyo ndio changamoto tumepata. Nimepata me personally. Ya kwamba hata wale watu nilikuwa ninafikiria watanisupport. I think I got very little from them. Yes, so you find that sometime if you are writing for money like pastor is saying, you can be disappointed. But if it is something you felt that this is right from my heart, you itadumi. Na ndio sababu niliweza kuandika hii na this one is about to be printed.
Okay.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo kuna changamoto.
Both from friends that are close to you, family. Wengine wataiona hata kwa Facebook. Mtu tu ananyamaza. Unashindwa kwani mimi na vile ninafikiria tunaandamana pamoja. Kunaenda aje. Ingine kwa wanawake, most of them they don't also like reading. Na kuna wengi wamekuwa bad by illiteracy. So unamuona tu nafikiria naweza kusoma lakini
ni msafi tu na nje lakini
afadhali asikilize hivyo kwa sababu hiyo tu ni masikio.
Ni masikio na hajaelewa lugha.
Yes, hiyo inaweza kuwa jambo nzuri lakini kuna changamoto kwa hiyo unataka kufikia.
Nawapata.
Yes.
Sasa tuingilie changamoto ambazo umekumbana nazo ambazo pia zinakumba kila mwandishi awe katika taifa la Kenya na pia awe katika mataifa jirani. Changamoto kuu katika uandishi wa habari wa vitabu ni ipi? Kwa maana sisi wa habari tuko na nyingi.
Okay. So let me add what you have said. If you write a book in the name of profit, you know, in business, you get the sales and the expenses, then you get profit.
Yeah.
This is not business. If you do it in the name of business, it is going to really disappoint you. For example, if you are writing a book on literature, Kisima cha Ginengi, I did Amarome and Julius. I did that in high school, so I can remember those books and the 17 short stories. You see, the government, the Ministry of Education forces people, it is by law, you have to buy these books.
Yeah.
So that writer will get a lot of money because it's by law. Now, if someone has to buy a book on rebuilding after rejection, it must be relevant to him or to her. So you get my point? So how many people will buy it? Very few. Because there's no law to buy my book.
Yeah.
So if you write a book in the name of, I want to get my money back, it won't, you, as I said, you'll be so much disappointed. But now let's talk about now the positive side.
Yeah.
Before we talk about these challenges. Writing a book is leaving behind a legacy. Why do you have the 6 books in the Bible?
Yeah.
Because somebody sat down, inspired by the Holy Spirit, and wrote those books. Jeremiah died. Timothy died. Paul died. But now we are reading from them. They left behind a rich legacy. One thing about a book, no, you cannot argue with a book.
Yeah.
You can argue with a preacher, you can argue with a pastor, but you can never argue with a book. So a book will preach to you, and you have not to say no. So even if I die, 100 years from now, someone will read my book.
Sure.
You get my point? Someone will know that Henry lived because he wrote a what? A book. So a book will speak even after you are gone. People forget my sermons. That's why if you are a pastor listening to me, a preacher, an evangelist, a bishop, an apostle, I encourage you to write a book. Because your sermons will be forgotten. But your books will continue preaching even after you have gone. We read books by Martin Luther.
Yeah.
We read books by C.S. Lewis. We read books by great writers, okay, who lived in the 16th century, Akina Moody.
Yeah.
But today, they are gone, but they are still preaching to us.
Sure.
You get my point? So, forget about money. Focus on the positive side, legacy. That book will preach and preach and preach and preach. Your great children know that we had a writer in our family. Yeah, so that my point is, let us not only focus on the pain, let us focus on the legacy. So, the challenges of writing a book. The first challenge is money to publish the book. Okay? Now if I tell you people, mimi ni mgonjwa na niko na shida ya mguu, kuja nimtani pesa niende India. I need 10 million. Those people who come, people are sympathetic to that. They will come. Now tell them, I want come together, let us do a harambee, I want to write a book. They won't even buy the book in the first place, so they won't come for the harambee.
Yeah.
So for you to write, you must first of all make sure you have the money. But don't wait for you to get all the money. Go step by step. If you have money to buy the first 4 choir book, write. Then look for money to do the draft. Then look for the money to publish. Look, then you can also produce books like, instead of producing 1,000 books at once, these books were 1,000. By the way, in the publishing, the more books you publish, the cheaper. Okay? So if I publish 100 books of this, it will be very expensive. If you publish 1,000, it will be cheaper. That's how publishing companies works. But don't wait for you to publish 1,000 books like me. Just publish the first 50. If you let's not go to 50. If you publish the first 10 books, you are a writer. You already have a title. So one challenge is financial resources, but live one day at a time. Go one step at a time. Now the second challenge of this book is to find the right mentor. Because I can have a mentor who is very good in leadership, but that mentor is not good in writing a book on prayer. You get my point? Yeah. So finding the right person who is selfless, who is sacrificial, to sit down and lead your book. Wengine wataona kama kuna utoto. Kwa sababu this person is a professional writer, ameandika miaka mingi, sana anashindwa wewe unaandika na broken English. You get my point? So unakosa mtu wa kumotivate, mtu wa kuinspire, and you see writers are few in Kenya.
Yeah.
So So you get my point. So finding the right mentor is also a problem. Maybe she can add more challenges.
Unapoongeza changamoto ambazo mnapitia, amezungumzia kuhusu iwapo nataka ku building after rejection, lazima kidogo nikue labda anapitia hilo, ama niko na rafiki yangu anapitia, anataka asome. Nyinyi kama waandishi wa vitabu, mnahakikishaje ya kwamba hamtoki nje ya mada sana ili vitabu visikose watu wa kununua?
Ndio tulisema hapo mwanzo ya kwamba ni lazima, ni vizuri utafute mtu wa kukumenta. Kwa sababu ukiwa na mentor atakuelekeza. Na hata yule mwenye utatafuta wa kupublish your book ni mtu ako na hiyo maarifa, anajua ni nini unataka kuandika. He will bring out your content well. Kwa sababu utamtumia hata kuorganize. Sometimes ni hiyo tumeandika kwa fourquire, umeiweka hapo, you don't even know how to put it in topics and subtopics. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri kuwe na mtu ambaye unajua huyu mtu ako na maarifa, a lot of wisdom, and ni mtu ako na a lot of knowledge concerning the issues of publishing the book, ili aweze kuorganize vizuri, so that you will also be able to bring out your topics or your titles well. Kwa sababu kama huna huyo mtu, tena utaleta kitu ambacho hakitatokea vizuri. Na unataka kufikia wengi. Unajua ni vizuri mtu akinunua na akisoma kitabu chako atamwambia mwingine. Hiyo pia unajua pastor amesema ni vizuri kuangalia the positive. Nimeona watu wamesoma, mtu amesikia kitabu ni kizuri na anamuitia mwingine. Kwa hivyo kama kitabu chako hakijaandikwa vizuri, ama mwenye alikusaidia kupublish kuweka vizuri na kufuatilia the subtopics, kitakosa ladha. Na ni vizuri kitabu chako kiwe na ladha. Unajua kitu kikiwa na ladha
kitapendwa na kitanunuliwa. Changamoto nyingine labda kabla tuende mapumziko.
Okay. The other challenge is planning. See, she is a principal. She is a mother. She is a pastor. And she has her own social life. And she wants to write a book. That's a lot. I'm a pastor, and I'm a father, I'm a husband. And I have missions to go. I have to travel. I have to prepare my sermons. I have to counsel people. Now, where do you get all that time? That's the other challenge, planning. This is what I did. As you write a book, you develop what you call a SMART goal. It has to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic. You should have a time frame. If you don't plan, then you won't accomplish anything. So what I did was to plan. I wrote 1 chapter per day. So if you write 1 chapter per day, by the end of the month you shall have 30 chapters. That is more than a book. That is a lot of content. So this na unajua kujikamata, kujifunga. That's what I did. So I employed someone who not employed, like this person volunteered. I used to give her little money. And so I used to tell her by 9 you must be in my office to write. So by 9, if she's in my office to write, it means I arrived in the office by 8. I have written for a whole hour. So because I knew that she will come to write, so for a whole hour I have written a whole chapter. You see, ni kama like kujifunga. Like I must write a chapter per day. Someone must start to type by 9. So for a whole hour I was writing. I did that for a whole month. You get my point? So you must plan your time. Otherwise, there is no time. What you do, you seize time. Okay? The Bible says you redeem time for the days are evil. So redeem means to buy, to make priority. So I made a priority of my time. Because unless you do that, you will never write a book. You are going to write a book by mouth. Then the other thing you do is you have a time frame. For example, that by the end of 2021, I would have published my other book. Okay? So I have a time frame. I have a set goal. So if anyone who is listening to me want to write a book, have that set goal. By the end of 2021, I've written my book. So then you start breaking that time into small assignments. And then by the end of 2021, you shall have written a book. If you don't do that, you never write. Yes.
Wow. Ulisema hiki ulikiandika kwa mwezi?
Yeah, for 1 month.
Yes. Na vyako ama siku?
Yeah, maybe my story is different because I wrote down whatever I had. And then these phones are also good.
Very good.
Yeah, because I found a lady who was had posted a book on Facebook. I didn't know what to do with the manuscript I had written. So when I got her, I asked her how she has gone about it, and so she directed me. So most of my work has been helped by the publisher. Yes.
Oh, kwa hivyo pia ukisaidiwa.
Yes.
Okay.
Na hiyo ni Mungu tu, kwa sababu mnaweza kosa kama vile anasema. Kwa hivyo ni kuelekezwa tu na Mungu, ukapata mtu mzuri, and then he fit in whatever I wanted. Yes.
And needless to add, it's very interesting how you can write a book. There's no formula of writing books.
Yes.
There's no formula. So just write the way you want to write your own book. Now, for example, this book on leadership, where so we started a group on Facebook. Me, I was on Facebook before you were born. 2009.
Are you sure?
Yes, I was on Facebook. I'm not sure. So I was on Facebook from the month of May. So on Facebook, we started a group. I started a book known as a group known as Leadership Where. Exactly. So I started writing like sermons. So every Thursday they expected a sermon. One time I never wrote. They wrote to me on my inbox. Hey, we were waiting for your sermon. But the Facebook doesn't have those they were called notes on Facebook. They don't have it these days. So it was a long like a whole sermon. So I wrote these sermons for 7 good years every week. And then I said, no, what about making it a book? And that's how this book was born. 7 years after. Yes. So if you are writing, continue writing. If you're writing on prayer, continue writing. One day all those sermons on prayer will become a book. If you're writing, you are preaching on giving, continue writing on giving. One day that those sermons will be combined to a book. That's how this book was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hiyo ni nzuri. Katika muziki kuna copyright, na kidogo ukijaribu kucheza na muziki wa mtu utapata kuna shida, na pia kuna sheria ambazo zitakukabili. Na iwapo unataka hilo lifanyike, kama mtu ambaye yuwaimba, unaenda pale unajiandikisha katika vitabu.
Sasa kumeharibika. Kumeharibika. I have seen WhatsApp groups that sells PDFs. And I was asking myself, this WhatsApp group that sells these PDFs. Unasema you want this PDF 100 shillings. Why do they get the PDFs?
15.
It's a 50. Why do they get the books? Now, the writer of that book, the author, does he know that his book is being sold? Does he get any money? And kufikia kidogo najua ya kwamba they don't get any money. Someone will take this book, publish it in Nairobi. And okay, for example, they sell so many books from pastors from Nigeria and pastors from the US. Now these pastors from Nigeria and South Africa and US, they don't know that their books are being sold in Kenya. A publisher took those PDFs and made them into, they are called PDFs, there's another name, I'm forgetting the name. Then they produce the books locally, then they sell it at a very cheap price. A book that's supposed to cost 1,000 is sold at 200 shillings. And that man doesn't reach the original author. So my point is very simple. There's a lot of piracy going on concerning books. And my charity to everybody, if you have not written the book, don't sell it. Don't sell it. Let's be blunt. It is stealing. It is stealing. Thou shalt not steal.
It's not them.
But do you
Lakini utafanya vipi ili kisije kuibiwa?
Do you know my books are being sold in Nigeria? Just imagine.
PDF.
My books on in Nigeria and in South Africa. I came to run very late. Because someone will pick someone who I don't know how this they get, they assess the preparation, they get that name inapotea, and then they produce them over there. How they do it, I don't know. But I came to realize literally that. But do you know what I also think? Nothing. Do you know what I also think? I also think that someone is getting blessed because of my book. So to me, that's positive. The others can get depressed.
Basi hapo inamaanisha wamehalalisha wizi.
But what can you do? You can't go to the jet fight people. It's another form of corruption, but it is important to guard your book by giving it what you call an ISBN number.
Yeah.
That's also important. Some things you have no power over them. Maybe the government can help the others in Kenya to really fight piracy in the writing market. But at the end of the day, write for the sake of blessing another person.
Not money.
Exactly. Yes.
Unahakikisha vipi dakika moja ya kwamba vitabu vyako havitaibiwa tuvipate hata Kongo?
Kongo Forest.
Ndivyo mchungaji amesema na vile tunapitia through the publisher, he also ensure that you get that ICP number ili uhakikishe kwamba hakijaibiwa, hakijatumiwa vile tumesema. Lakini kama vile tumeongea, pia unapata hata kama umelinda kitabu chako, na hututujia tu tunafunguka na unapata kitabu chako kinatumiwa pale pengine. Lakini ni maombi yangu ya kwamba watu tu watakuwa waaminifu ili tuweze kupata kilicho chetu.
And maybe next we need to ask ourselves, we are 5 here. Why did you just buy a book? So what we do, we borrow. We don't, Kenyans don't buy books. They borrow.
Hata wakati watu wanakuja wamekuja kwako, ni vizuri unaangalia. Mtu atachukua tu kitabu naende nacho.
Tatarudisha.
It's only a fool who has a good book. I mean, that's the it's only a fool who has a good book.
Ni kweli. Kidogo tupate mapumziko, tupate kopo la maji, kisha pale tutakuwa tunarejea tujiulize, hao watu ambao wanachapisha vitabu ni hao wanapatiana idhini ya vitabu vyenyewe kuuzwa katika mitandao ya kijamii, PDF, vitu kama hivyo. Siku hizi pia nimeona kwamba kuna vile ambavyo hii simu yangu naweza nikachukua na niguse hivi na nisikize kitabu, si kusoma, nisikize kitabu. Sijui kama umefika hapo, na pia changamoto ambazo zinakuja na udigitali. Unazidi kutazama Damka na Ziwa. Kwa wale ambao wanatazama katika kurasa yetu wa Facebook, asante sana. Mimi nafahamika kama Nile Swanjiru, tunaye Pastor Henry na pia tunaye Pastor Favor ambaye anazidi kutusaidia katika uandishi wa vitabu. Iwapo una swali, tukirejea tutakuwa tunalijibu, na pia tumalizie na pia tuhitimishe Damka na Ziwa. Usiende mbali.
Wimbo si wimbo tu, bali ni ustadi uliofanywa katika wimbo huo. Studio ya mziki ya Ziwa ya kualika ewe msanii uliye na kiu ya kufanya mziki wa kutajika. Usihangaike tena, kwani katika studio yetu tutakupa huduma kama vile professional audio recording, vocal training, instrument coaching, songwriting skills and audio production. Tupatikana Nyahururu, mtaa wa Maili 4, au kipenda Mairoinya. Ndoto litabaki ndoto tu usipolipiga teke gubi. Basi usisite kuwasiliana nasi kwa nambari 0111 917 934. Kumbuka, studio ya mziki sisi tuko Ziwa. Studio ya mziki basi tuko Ziwa.
Barabara kabisa mtazamaji, na karibu tena. Tuzidi kumalizia Damka na Ziwa siku ya leo, tukizidi kuangalia uandishi wa habari na pia taaluma kwa jumla ya uandishi wa vitabu. Kunradhi, uandishi wa habari umeniingia sana, kwa maana hiyo ndio taaluma yangu, kunradhi kwa hilo. Lakini kwa sasa tuzidi kuangalia baadhi ya mambo ambayo yanachipuka hapa. Siku hizi tuna vijana ambao kidogo tumependa sana digitali. Nyinyi kama waandishi wa vitabu, ni vipi ambavyo mtatufikia sisi kama wasomi, kwa maana tunataka kusoma. Hivi juzi niliona mtu amepachika kitu katika mitandao ya kijamii akasema kwamba sisi tuna zamu na hamu sana kufanya vitu vingi, lakini hatuna maarifa. Na maarifa tutaweza tukayapata katika vitabu na katika vitu vingine, lakini sana sana katika vitabu. Mnafanya nini kwa maana labda karne zijazo? Siku hizi unasikia hadi kuna CBC ya kwamba si lazima mtoto akafanya vile ambavyo tulikuwa tunafanya hapo awali. Tunaelekea kupata huduma namba, sijui kama mmepata, ambao utakuwa unafinya hivi na unapata kila kitu. Vitabu ukiangalia katika nchi ambazo tuseme developed countries, kidogo vimefika mahali ambapo unaguza simu na unasikiza tu vitabu. Unadhani kabla tufike hapo hii Kenya ni nini ambacho tunafaa kukifanya?
Okay, so technology has brought a lot of changes in our country and in the whole world. I think for us to reach out to many people, your book must be in two form, the hard copy and the soft copy.
Sure.
Because people ask me, do you have a soft copy? I never knew what they were saying. Now I understand. Soft copy means that I can send them via their phones.
Yeah.
Because people are not able to carry, exactly. People are not able to carry a big book, but they can carry it in their phone, in their phones. Sure. So I made sure all my books are in soft copies, and then from there I'm able to tell them this book costs 1,000. You can buy it at 300 shillings through the soft copy. And let me tell you, people bought it through soft copies. Then we have the audio format, which is done by professionals, which I have not yet done, because the people who just want to listen. There are people who are visual, others are audio. So someone want to just listen. So if you can have books in soft copy, hard copy, and audio copy, then that can work. Yes.
All right. Asante. What about you?
Okay, I've not got there, but we are still preparing that with my publisher. Yes, so people are demanding the same.
Lazima kwa maana tunataka kusoma na sitaki nikienda ofisini na beba kitabu kikubwa nitaanza kuitwa pastor. Vitu kama hivyo na unajua wengi hawataki. Tunapoendelea hivyo namuona Ashley Wamboi anasema yuko ndani nazidi kutazama. Kuna Jackson Ngovo anasema niko ndani, salimia Werimu sana, tutamsalimia na iwapo Werimu anatazama atasalimika. Kuna mtu anakwenda kwa jina Grace Ngando anasema being blessed, asante sana. Kuna mtu anakwenda kwa jina Peter George anasema I'm following right here from Nanyuki. Can they share on how to register your book? Natumai mnashika. Where to publish, the best person to deal with ni nani, and how much does it cost, and the whole process, because I want to publish mine, 3 of them, but has remained in 4 inquiries. She has said because of lack of kind direction. Many you met, they made things more complicated. Kwa hivyo yeye anataka mwambie unaweza kufanya vipi ukaregister kitabu chako. Ni kweli kimeandikwa, lakini unapoenda katika maktaba utakipata. Anauliza hivyo, na pia anauliza utajuaje mtu ni mchapishaji wa vitabu vizuri, that is a good publisher. Kwa upande mwingine pia namuona Mark anasema anazidi kutazama. Madam Kanaziwa, asante sana kutoka Kisumu. Kuna Nikki B, asante kwa kutazama. Kuna Wanjiko Kanina, kuna Peter Saito na baadhi tu wengi ambao wanazidi kutazama. Kumbuka maswali yako pia tunayachukua mtazamaji katika ukurasa wetu wa Facebook Ziwa TV, na pia katika nambari yetu ya rafa inayopita katika televisheni yako. Kwa sasa tunajibu kidogo, kisha baadaye kuna baadhi ya hadithi zenyu amje tuambie na watu wangependa kusikia sana. Kwa maana kabla unajua wakati ambapo hata wewe mtazamaji najua wakati ambapo uko na kitu ambacho unapitia lazima ukae chini kwanza ujiulize, will I overcome this one? Lakini waandishi wa vitabu huwa wanalia wakiandika natumai. Kwa hivyo mtatuambia hadithi zenu kwa maana ni wengi ambao wanataka kuzisikia. Tuanze kwa huyu tumjibu. Iwapo unataka kuandika kitabu, unataka umeandika vizuri, unataka kukiregister, kukisajili vizuri, ili mtu anapoenda kukitafuta atakipata. Na iwapo anataka mtu ambaye ni mzuri atamchapishia kitabu, utaangalia nini? Si lazima ukatuambia specifically ni huyu na huyu kwa maana hawajalipia.
Exactly.
Utakuwa unatuambia how do you know? Exactly.
That's a good question. And we have to help the person who want to write that book, because just imagine in a very few kuna brokers. Me, I never knew. Kuna makatels. I never knew kuna makatels. So my first book, this is what happened. I was connected to a person. So this person, me, I thought he has a publishing company in Nairobi. Kumbe this person is a broker. Ai anakubroka anataka commission.
Kwa kitabu chako.
Hata kuambia atakwambia ana publishing company, atakwambia publish it for you, it will cost 300,000 shillings. Kumbe hiyo kitabu ita cost 200,000. And that's on ni zake. Na Africa nikagundua ya kwamba he is going very fast. Like hata hataki pesa zangu kwanza. Anataka kupublish na kitabu ikatoka haraka. Kumbe this person already akona commission kutoka publishing company, so already if I pay the remaining amount of money, it will be his profit. Yeah. Kuna cartels. kuna brokers. And I want to, that's why I can only help some person on a personal level. Nikwambie, go to that publishing company. Go there by yourself. The publisher will give you an ISB number. They are the one who is in charge of publishing your book. And publishing, registering the book. Now, so my first book never had an ISBN number. Because huyu jamaa hataki iwe na ISB number. Unajua kwa nini? Kwa sababu kuna ISB number, the publishing company will protect it. If it doesn't have, then you will be selling my books. And nobody will ever ask you. You get my point? That is why get a contact of a publisher directly. Yeah, avoid the cartels and the brokers in between. Now, the only way you can do it is to find someone who has published the book, you can your wisdom. Yes. So the person wanted the book, maybe we can put our number there, kwa Facebook, and then we shall be able to help her or to help him. Kwa sababu sitaki apoteze pesa.
Anaweza poteza sana bila kujua. Haya, kwako vipi, ilikuwa vipi ulipokuwa ukitafuta publisher? Uliangalia nini mwanzo?
Nilisema ni ya kwamba nilielekezwa na mtu. Fortunately, wakati tuliongea tukajadiliana, I realized he's a good person. So sikuwa na changamoto sana. Nilipata mtu direct. Wana tulipojadiliana, nikaona ni mtu mzuri na amefanya kazi mzuri. So sijapata changamoto ya the broker.
Na pasta kweli rejection ile
kwa kitabu. Yaita kuka rejection. It is being rejected.
Kuna shida. Saizi unaweza kuzungumza ukicheka kwa
out of experience now can help someone else. We don't waste our sorrows. Can help somebody else.
Anauliza pia labda utuambie kadri ya kutoa kitabu pesa ngapi, shilingi ngapi hivi?
So I've said the more the book, the cheaper. Okay? But because you don't have all that money, I want to encourage that person, one, produce a quality book. A book that utasikia, ukikutana na gavana wenu, utasikia hii book kumpatia. Because it is well written, it is quality. And so please pay the price. Because that book will outlive you. So pay the price. Yes. But depending, for example, 2015, that's when I produced my first book. And it costed me 300,000 shillings. Because kuna pesa ya broker. So it can even cost less. Yes. Don't be scared by the money. One day at a time, one step at a time. Yes.
Na tulisema tunaweza toa hata 10.
You now have a new title. That Nelias is Ananga. Yes.
Kidogo turudi pale mwanzo ambapo watu wengi kidogo wanataka kusikia hadithi zenyu. Unajua unapoandika kitabu, mtu anapochukua kitabu kama hiki anasoma Pastor Henry, anasoma upande mwingine Reverend Favor Nyaga, anajua kwamba maisha yenu yalikuwa mazuri sana hadi mnaandika vitabu. Kidogo tuambie labda changamoto zenyu umepitia, si kwa uandishi lakini katika kila kitu, kwa maana pia wewe ni mtumishi, pia yeye ni mtumishi. Zipo ama maisha yenu imekuwa tu mazuri?
Okay. This life has pain. This life has pain, and we are saved because there was pain. Jesus died on the cross for us. So this life is about pain. But at the end of the day, this life also has resurrection. It has also restoration. That's why we are talking about rebuilding after rejection. Restoration after rejection. So you say that you have overcome all manner of rejection, but at least I will see this tour. Sasa siwezi jinyonga. Rejection can lead to depression. There are many people who are listening to me. You have been rejected by a boyfriend, by a girlfriend, by a husband, by a spouse, by a wife. You have been rejected at work.
Ngoja kwanza pastor. Unapofika hapo pa boyfriend unasisitiza sana. Tuambie kama ulipata mtu after hizo vitu vingine.
Wacha nikwambie. Mwimbaji alisema the word money of the remote, like after that darkness there will be light. Wacha nikwambie, it was tough. And if you don't even take care, rejection can follow you into marriage. Really? You are married and you are not married. It can follow you there. Yeah. Na hata after rejection huko nje ushida ya marriage. Kwa sababu mtu anakuonyesha cold shoulder. You get my point?
Tueleze zaidi.
Now, the rejection will always be there. The most important thing is self-acceptance. And that's what I've talked in this book. Wewe kujikubali. You can be rejected because of your height, because of your physical challenges, because of poverty. You can be rejected because of something that you have no control over. For example, because of your body shape. And you have no control over that. Isn't it? You can be rejected because of your roots. Yeah. So because me, I think my rejection was more rooted in my generations. I could see, look at my mother now, could see my mother suffered a lot of rejection. My mother went through a divorce process. You see, now Sasa, I also suffered the same. I also suffered the same. You see, it is rooted in generations. So that's why prayer has to come in. That's why counseling has to come in. And at the end of the day, people will always reject you for their own reasons. They always reject. Someone will not like you because of your hair, and you can't control that. The most important thing is self-acceptance. Where would you go? And the worst form of rejection is self-rejection. Yeah, people can reject me, but the question is, do I reject myself? Have I fallen in love with myself? People always have opinions about your life, even if you become successful. Do you know people reject you because you're successful? Okay, I thought people reject me because I'm ugly. You can be rejected because you are beautiful.
You're not ugly.
You see, Sasa did it. I'm saying someone can reject you because you are poor, and somebody else will reject you because you have money. Ati anajigamba, anajidai. You see, rejection knows no class. Someone will hate you because you have succeeded in life, and someone will hate you because you have nothing. So at the end of the day, the cure is self-acceptance, kujikubali. God treated me this way. For example, one thing I decided in my life, I will never apologize. Even if I drive hot, I will never apologize. Even if I become a billionaire, never apologize. Because when I was poor, they were fighting me. And when I have money, they still fight me.
They went to London.
They went to London. You're Meshika. Just imagine today's day, I'm still waiting for someone to say, yes, I do.
So, kwa sababu najua si kila mtu atapata fursa ya kusoma hiki kitabu, Building After Rejection. After hicho chote kutendeka, how do you rebuild after rejection?
So you rebuild by accepting yourself. You rebuild by going for prayer. You rebuild by going to a counselor to listen to your story. You allow God to heal your heart, because we get a lot of wounds. You allow yourself to get healed. If you get into marriage with a problem of rejection, the rejection will continue. Even your own children can even reject you. Yeah, because this thing follows you. And let me say this. I got married. So after I've been married for the last 18 years. And I came to realize that marriage is not an answer to rejection. You as an individual must accept yourself. Okay? If you are whole, then you shall have a whole marriage. If you are hurting, then you shall have a hurting marriage. Yes.
Napata. Tukuje kwako, umezungumza sana kuhusu wanawake hapa, na naona vizuri tena sana. Ni nini kiko kwa hiki kitabu? Wanawake watajipenda vipi? Kwa sababu amezungumzia kuhusu self rejection, na natumai hiyo inaingia katika self esteem, na pia attitude ambayo mtu ako nayo katika maisha. Ni kipi ambacho sana sana huwa unawaambia wanawake unapowazungumzia, alafu tutakuja kwa watoto?
I have talked more of self-worth and self-esteem.
Yeah.
When we talk about self-worth, it's the value you have for yourself. Because we said that women are looked as second in our society. And therefore, if they don't value themselves, they also carry themselves the way they are carried by others. So before others believe in you, you must believe in yourself. And then you must also have that self-esteem. It has to do with the way you feel about yourself and the way you see yourself. As a man thinketh, so he is.
Sure.
So if you think that you cannot make it, you will not make it. If you think that you are poor, you will become poor. Because if you are to become somebody in this world, it will have to start in the mind. Yeah, so that is what I've tried to tell people. I've also tried to tell them that where they are coming will not determine where they are going. So some of the women they have come from poor background. Others have been oppressed by rejection, like he has said. Others because maybe a sickness came in your life, maybe a divorce came in your life. Maybe you are also let down at one time. Like some others went to London and they have never come back. So there's women are not like man. I can see our pastor is very strong. Women, we are broken from inside, and to pick up from there it takes time. So I've told them that they can still pick up the broken pieces and still continue with the life and become that which God intended them to become. So they should not allow that which has come in between. We say that from the beginning God intended well for us. So whatever has happened in between here and our destiny should not bring them down to an extent that you don't live your vision.
Kweli.
Yes.
Haya, katika kila taaluma pastor, kuna yule mtu ambaye huwa unatazamia. Hata mimi ukaniuliza, najua mtu ambaye ningependa kuwa kama yeye nitakapokuwa katika uandishi wa habari. Unatazamia nani katika uandishi wa vitabu?
Or someone like who mentors you?
Mtu ambaye unataka vitabu vyako vifike kama vyake.
Like a role model in the writing business.
Yeah.
Okay. So one person who really influenced my writing by reading his book was Miles Monroe. The way Miles Monroe writes his books is as if he is talking. And his books are very simple, they are very short, and they are well programmed. Like the books you enjoy reading the book. And anakuwa to story mob. So I read a lot of books by Miles Monroe, and then he is very interesting. So I've read so many books by John Maxwell.
Yeah.
The writing format is also very good. Because sometimes we get bored by wrong books and with wrong chapters. By the way, John Maxwell writes his books. By the way, Miles Monroe used to write his book. The Miles Monroe used to write his book. To me, they were like role models. Although I never met them person to person, reading their books, that's the interesting thing about books. When you write a book, it is good to mentor someone added years after to without even you knowing. They say you can have a breakfast. You can have a breakfast with a billionaire. How can you have breakfast with a billionaire? By just reading his book. Yes.
Umezungumza content, nikakumbuka kitu ya kwamba unapofungua kitabu, nitaona kitabu kinapendeza juu na nitaenda nikichukua. Alafu nitapata kwamba labda umeandika kitabu, wewe ni pastor na kuna mtu ambaye sio Mkristo na angependa kusoma kitabu. Waona? Kwa hivyo ninapochukua hiki kitabu nasoma, sitatarajia sana nikute scriptures nyingi kama wengine. Nyinyi mnatuumiza kidogo. How do you balance?
Your problem is not like reading.
Hapana, utakujaje pastor? Hiki ni kitabu, hii yote ni script. Si ningechukua tu Bible nisome.
Okay, hapana. You need a translator, an interpreter. My point is very simple. I really get your point.
So Muislamu pekee.
I get your point. People don't like reading detailed things.
Yeah.
So in my 2 books, I avoided writing chapters and verses of the Bible because I knew people would not even read. Okay, so let me read for them, interpret it for them, let them understand in their own level. Now, writing a book will require it need to be short, it need to be simple, and it need to be interesting. If you can have those 2 principles, then you shall write a good book. Short. What I mean by short is let the chapter be short. Be short. The book can be long, but let the chapters be short, and it should be simple. Don't use complicated words. We are easy competition literature, dictionary. So it should be short and simple. That hata mtoto anaweza soma na aelewe, and then it should be very interesting. For it to be interesting, then it must be personal. Then you must have a parable there. You must have a story, a story that is very interesting. You must have an illustration. You must have a quote. Yeah, you must put all those things together to make it interesting. But 2 key things in writing a book. One, it is the title. Because a title is a summary of the book.
Tuambie tunakujaje na title ambayo inapendeza, kwa sababu ni kweli wakati mwingine utachukua kitabu hapa juu kinapendeza, lakini kule ndani unafika page 1 na unakunja na unaenda.
I don't want to be personal, like some titles I don't like them. For example, I found a book written by an American where I call What Demons Do to Say It. Like, how can you have such a title? At what demons? So you are already instilling fear.
Yeah.
So a title must be like, one, make sure that title is not anywhere else. So Google, for example, Leadership Well.
Yeah.
If you go to Leadership Well, they're going to give you my book. There is no such a book in this world. So that title must be unique. it must get the attention of the seeker, the person who want to seek to write. So it must be unique. So make sure it's nowhere in the world. So make sure it is unique. It is unique. Then make sure that the person who publishes your book writes the title on board, that it is bold. Then the colors, the colors must be very appealing.
Attractive.
Okay? So ati mtu hata ikiwa hakuwa na appetite, anaona hiyo chakula, anasikia hiyo smell, appetite inajileta. The same case with the book. Yes. Yes.
Wewe unachaguaje labda title zako pale juu? Kwa sababu kama kitu kisoma appeal, lakini kinazungumzia mambo ya wanawake.
You have to look for an appealing title. Tulisema kutoka mwanzo lazima hiyo chakula ifutie. Kwa sababu kama ninaangalia kitabu na the title is not appealing, I be put off by that title. So the color of the book and the title are very determinant.
Yeah.
Na ndio sababu ni lazima uchunguze kabisa na uone hakuna mwingine ako na hicho kitabu. Vile nimefanya kwa vitabu vyangu. Ya kwamba they are unique, they are special, and if you also look at them, you will only find they are for different reasons. Yeah.
All right.
And just to add, one mistake I did, because we also learned from our mistakes, was to put my title. For example, leadership where is a book that can be read by anyone, whether I'm a Hindu or a Muslim, whether an animist, whether a traditionalist, because a book on leadership. The book on the beauty of rejection is a book that can be read by anybody, because we all suffer rejection. There is no religion or class, but someone will be put off because of that title pastor. So in my future books, I just like Henry Waweru. That will be enough. Yeah. Yeah. So to avoid people having prejudice, so you don't use your title. Yeah.
You just write your name.
Yes.
Someone alikatoa majina yako.
Exactly.
Lakini siku hizi watumishi wa Mungu wanapenda title sana.
Title. A title, you can't eat a title. A title is not food. So the most important is the substance. Yes.
Na unataka kufikia kila mtu.
Because you can be called a doctor, apostle, and then usemi kitu. Yeah. We should focus most on the function, the substance, and not the title. Yes.
All right. Tukimalizia labda utuambie tunatarajia nini kwa Henry Waweru, sitaki kuita pastor. Henry Waweru, tunatarajia nini?
Okay, so I want
miaka ijayo.
Maybe by the end of this year I will publish another book. I want to write a book on. I'm writing a book on inner healing. Like how do you get healed in the inside? Because I came to realize that we need to be holistic people.
Yeah.
People are ukiangalia nje they look okay, lakini ndani they are hurting. They are wounded, they are injured, they are suffering from emotional wounds. Mentally, they are not well. So I want to really get out a book that will focus on that holistic person, on especially on emotional healing, inner healing, spiritual healing. It's the same line with rejection, because rejection can cause a wound in your heart. Utaishi nayo for long. So I want to produce a book, more books on counseling, more books on overcoming depression. Yes.
Kwako vipi?
Huku ninatarajia kuproduce kitabu kingine. I've written quite a bit of it that is on parents, because I realized that parents are also crucial in our life. Na kuna mengi wamefanya, hata pahali tumefika ni kwa sababu ya wazazi. Wametumiwa kama chombo na Mungu, na nimekaa na wazazi wangu, wengine wameondoka na mwingine tayari yuko. Kwa hivyo ninajua ni wa maana sana, na kwa hivyo ninaandika kitabu kuhusu wazazi. Bado naandika, na ninaona pengine by the end of the year it will also be out. And there is also another one that maybe at the beginning of 2022 I also believe it will be out. Kuna watu ambao wanasahauliwa sana, the fathers. And I am intending to write that. Both we have different fathers. We have our spiritual fathers. We have our biological fathers. And even the potential fathers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ukiandika hicho usisahau kumuita huyu ukizindua hicho kitabu.
Itasaidia.
Tumalizie utuambie pia unapotaka kuandika kuhusu watoto, ni nini haswa umeona kwa watoto?
Najua the better part of my life I have dealt with children and I'm also a mother and I realized that most people hata kwa kanisa unaona watoto they are not given the priority.
Wanatoa kwa viti, kwa sherehe wanatuambia kule nje.
Kitambo tulikuwa tunawekewa chakula yetu kando and we used to eat from one plate or sufuria ama zile besheni. So we used to ni kama tumewekwa kando, watoto wamewekwa kando. But I wanted to bring the picture that children are important. Na hivyo ndivyo hata Biblia inatuambia kwamba watoto ni watu wa maana. Na ile mambo tunaona hata siku hizi kuhusu watoto ni kwa sababu sisi kama wazazi tumeashiria kuna mahali tumeregeza ulezi wetu kama wazazi. Kwa hivyo nilikuwa nataka kuleta, nimeandika children are precious jewels, they are important and they should be taken as valuable beings.
Asante sana. Tunamalizia, tuna dakika moja tu, lakini kuna mtu ambaye angependa kusoma vitabu vyako, kuna mtu angependa kusoma vitabu vyako, hajui atavitoa wapi, unaweza tusaidia kwa hilo alafu tumalize.
Okay. One, before you go there, it's very fulfilling to write a book. Because when you change your life, because someone read your story, read your book, it is fulfilling. And money cannot even pay that. The fulfillment is enough. One time there was a lady in Kikuyu town. She took my book on the beginning of rejection. Aliniambia, she was a teacher. Aliniambia, mimi personally niketi chini. I don't even know I've ever seen her even to this day. Nisoma kitabu yako na sikuamka mpaka wakati nilimaliza. It was so interesting. Nilisoma for 3 hours na nikamaliza. Nikakuta 3 hours zimeisha nimemaliza. So nikusema alisaidika. Nikusema alisaidika. And to me, getting such a testimony, it is very fulfilling. So if you write a book, please write. You are going to change lives. So the best we sell books in many ways. One, you can find my books on Amazon and pay online. 2, I can send your books to wherever you are. Kuna post office box, na kuna G4S. If you are in Kisumu, I've sent this book all the way to Maridi. You just send it through G4S in Africa. I can send you the PDF format of the book, and you can the soft copy, and you can read. These books have our numbers, so we can even give you our number through social media, and then we can be in contact, and then you can get a book. Yes.
Na kwa vile umetupa maarifa, acha nikupatie zawadi. Tupatie nambari yako.
Oh, ni zawadi. Asante.
Kimalizia.
My number is 0720676316. 0720676316.
Asante kwako.
Yes, you can also get my books through the G4S and other such means. And you can also contact me through my number. I'll be able to organize how you can get your book. I'm still organizing with my publisher on how to put them online. My number is 0700-698-632. 0700-698-632.
Na hapo ndipo tunahitimisha kipindi chetu cha leo, mpenzi mtazamaji. Natumai kwamba kwa waandishi wa vitabu wa baadaye ama hapo kesho mambo ni shwari. Kwa yote ambaye amefanikisha kipindi cha leo, nasema ni asante sana, akiwemo mwelekezi wangu Agnes Kanina na cameraman wangu, asante sana. Tupatane kesho, Maulana akiridhia. Mimi nafahamika kama Nelias Wanjiru.